Welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going through some of the comments on the reveal trailer for Tom Clancy's XDefiant and figuring out exactly why people are annoyed with this. If you take a look at the likes and dislikes, I've disliked it personally. I think the game looks trash, but it's got 10k likes, 18k dislikes. And if we have a look at some of the comments, we've got realistic gunplay, shows a guy in a clown costume with a sonic leaf blower. Tom Clancy needs to come back and pimp slap you all. Your feedback helps us. Feedback, stop this and make a new Splinter Cell game. I don't think a new Splinter Cell game is ever going to be released. I'm pretty sure at this point they are just using the whole Splinter Cell sort of vibe as microtransactions. Sam Fisher is in a lot of different Ubisoft titles under microtransactions. So I don't think they're ever going to make a new one. It'd be nice, really nice, but I don't think they're ever going to. But other feedback you could give them about this game, not that they're ever going to listen, is just chuck it in the bin. I think Pete mentioned that one, and I totally agree, because it just looks as though it's the Division 2, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, in the form of a Call of Duty sort of game, FPS shooter, like PvP or whatever, and we don't need any more of them games, especially under the Tom Clancy name, when there's not really any other games at all besides like Rainbow Six Siege that would fall under that category. And there are lots of other titles that they could have made. And not only that, XDefiant, it just seems like some sort of sports game, like X Games or something, like a sports game that was made back in the Xbox 360 arcade sort of era. Someone says, please explain to me how this fits under Tom Clancy's. We need your feedback was a really bad idea. And then moving down, this is our take on a multiplayer first-person shooter. What about Rainbow Six Siege? And then moving down to some others. There was another one there. Realistic gunplay has a guy running and gunning with an LMG with a force field around him. And then this game was also generated by an algorithm. This isn't Tom Clancy. Shame on you, Ubisoft. Shame on you. Finally, a new online shooter. We don't have enough of those around, said no one. I think the entire Tom Clancy fanbase just said in unison, I never asked for this. Nothing says Tom Clancy quite like anything but this. Literally looks like a Division 2 reskin, like how Extraction is a reskin of Rainbow Six Siege. Damn, the Tom Clancy series went from cool tactical video games based off or inspired from the books to this is a Tom Clancy game because it has a gun. From this inspiration, we created new characters and gameplay unique to our shooter. Generic shield guy, generic decoy, the sentry from TF2. But not only that, there is nothing unique to their shooter. They've taken the outcasts and the cleaners from Division 2, Echelon and Wolves from Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It's like this was scientifically crafted to be as uninteresting and forgettable as possible. It's actually remarkable how little I care about this, and that lack of interest will only decline further once the monetization schemes are revealed. Yeah, they're probably going to have battle passes, they're going to have purchasable skins, there's going to be lots of it in there, especially because it's free to play. And then you'll get the people that say, yeah, but it's free to play, they need to make their money. They shouldn't make a penny off this. There's pretty much nothing unique in the game. They've used assets from older games. So if you want to support Ubisoft, I'd go buy the Division 2 or Ghost Recon Breakpoint, because that was actually, like, I know they used a lot of assets in Div 2 from Div 1, but I mean, that's its own sort of, like, you're allowed to take stuff from Div 1 and put it into Div 2 because it's a sequel, it's still within the same series, whereas XDefiant has just taken Ghost Recon and The Division and just slapped them in and gone, this is a new game. So I don't agree at all with anyone purchasing stuff for this game in terms of microtransactions, because there's not a single bit of effort that's gone into making this game from what we have seen so far. And I don't think any of it's going to change. I've recently done videos and stuff looking at all the stuff people missed. They're using like the can of licks from the Division 2 vending machines. They've got most of the Division 2 assets in there. There's just a lot wrong with this game. Someone said realistic gunplay. Hearing that just makes me want to already quit the game. Please reach out to us on social media. It's just about the funniest thing you could end this with. Looks like a free game on Steam called Line of Sight. When I heard that rifle shoot, I knew this game was done for, won't even last a year. Guns with almost zero recoil, you talk about gunplay. Not only that, there was clipping through one of the hoods of the characters. There was also a funny animation. I think someone got shot in the trailer and they kind of fell like sideways instead of backwards, and their legs did some crazy sort of, like, you know, the T-poses and stuff you sort of see in games. It was one of them like dodgy animations. Ubisoft doing everything but making a Splinter Cell. Again, I do believe that's microtransactions causing that. This is what happens when you design a game with a monetization in mind instead of fun and innovation. Tom Clancy would be ashamed to see his name associated with that, and I totally agree. Someone here as well says this looks like a game that you would see people playing in the background of a movie. But what Dominic said in terms of designing a game with a monetization in mind, if you look at what Ubisoft are doing, they're going with a lot of free-to-play titles, and that is purely because they want the monetization schemes in the game. They're going to be making The Division mobile. There's probably going to be some other games, like from possibly even Far Cry, Assassin's Creed going to mobile. All that sort of stuff, because they're focusing on mobile and free-to-play, because free-to-play gives them the ability to slap in loads of microtransactions. And I mean, I don't blame them, because if you look at some of the mobile games and the free-to-play stuff out there, it makes billions of dollars. But just following suit and following a trend because it makes money is wrong. And with people noticing that this game's probably not going to be fun, it might be for a little bit, there might be a honeymoon period of a month or so, maybe, something like that. But when your game is pretty much focused on the monetization side of things, which is what, like, especially for Ubisoft, they're a AAA company, and they're now focusing on free-to-play, what is their reasoning behind it? And the only thing that stands out is the monetization from the microtransactions. So yeah, it looks like there's a huge variety of reasons people don't like the look of this game, whether that is the monetization stuff, whether it's free to play so it might be really bad, the fact that it looks like a Division 2 reskin, they've just robbed loads of stuff from other Ubisoft titles and everything and just bundled them all into one. The name is dreadful. There's just from Ubisoft, whatever company it is within Ubisoft, they've put zero effort into this. And this project should never have been greenlit. We should never have seen a trailer. This should never have existed. Ever. This is possibly going to go down as the worst ever Ubisoft title. So what we're going to do is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.